Alright, hello and welcome everybody. This is another episode of RCW Ravage Championship Wrestling. So it's been a while since we've done this. I think it's been like a week or two, maybe. And usually that's very unusual for me. I don't usually take a break in the middle of a season. I usually kind of let the season play out and usually do it more. You guys know that on this channel it's mostly wrestling content above all else. It's very unusual just for me to do that, but I had a very good reason for doing that. I really wanted to kind of take a breather away from RCW for a little bit, kind of decide where I wanted to go with it, because it's not that I didn't have any storylines planned or anything like that. It was kind of just more or less deciding, okay, Season 8 is going to come up, or Season 7 is going to come up, and what am I going to do with that? Like, where are we going to go going forward? And so, I really needed some time to just really think about it, and, I did, and we are back. Also, I'm excited to announce that the Chikara Action Arcade Wrestling video game, the one that I've heavily endorsed, I should say, and talked about for the past couple of streams, that's going to come to console soon. I've been in contact with the developers, and the developers have been very vocal with the fans and just kind of saying, okay, this is what we're doing. And they just put out an update, and I got a chance to explore that. And I'm excited for it to come to consoles, because that means I have another wrestling game to play besides WWE 2K. And not that I don't like it. I love the stuff that I bring to the table for you guys content-wise with WWE 2K, but I also want another wrestling game, because having another wrestling game and it being a totally different style of game, because the WWE games are more of a simulation base, so they try to emulate what you see on television, and that's really it. Whereas the Chikara Action Arcade Wrestling, it brings an arcadey aspect to it. Like, there's fireballs, there's setting tables on fire, there's all these arcadey aspects of it, to where it's more video gamey and less of it trying to be realistic and trying to emulate what you see on TV. However, it also gives you the option to be a simulation game, where you can assign wrestlers that you create in that game with real moves, without the laser vision and without all the crazy stuff. You can assign wrestlers real moves in the game. So that's also really cool as well. But it just gives more of an opportunity for content creators like myself to do whatever they want. And I think with video games, I think it's very important to give the player options on how to play the game. It's sort of like with story-driven games like The Walking Dead, Telltale's The Walking Dead, where you have different choices that you can make, and those choices impact the story in the end. So what we're going to do with that, once that game comes out, is we are going to have a completely new wrestling promotion. We're going to have a completely new wrestling promotion. It's called Erie Pro Wrestling, EPW. The arena's already made. I got a chance to talk with the developers, and they say with creations, like community creations like on WWE, their creation system is going to be cross-plat. So whatever I create on the community creation system with Chikara, you guys will be able to download onto your PS4, Xbox One, or PC. It's not going to be platform limited, which is awesome. There's still a couple other things that I want in the game, which I've given them a suggestion in the Discord, and I'm constantly talking with them and telling them, this is what I would like in the game, and they're taking everything into account, so it's very nice knowing that. So I'm excited to bring that to the channel. Another wrestling game. It's going to be heavily CAW driven because the creation suite is amazing. I will have a video up on my YouTube channel. You can use the command !YT for my YouTube channel, and I will have a video up on my YouTube channel going over that creation suite and kind of just showing you guys how badass the creation suite is and why, in my opinion, it's one of the top creation suites in a video game. Because any type of sports game where you can create your own person, like NBA, Madden, whatever, like, I love the ability to kind of just do anything. And WWE 2K does a really good job of it, allowing you to upload your own logos and stuff like that. But Chikara takes it one step, many steps further. And I would just like to make a video and explore that, so keep an eye out for that. And yeah. So with that being said, we are going to get started here with the very first match as Brian Outlaw takes on the phenomenal AJ Styles. Now, Brian Outlaw had won the RCW World title against Zero at RCW, Destiny, as he comes out here with the RCW World title. And many speculation has been coming when deciding Brian Outlaw's next opponent at RCW Rebirth, our next pay-per-view. And it seems that with Chris Danger on the rise, and with Chris Danger in the way he has been, you know, his title opportunity to challenge for the RCW World Championship may be on the rise. But we will have to wait in future episodes to find out. I also want to point out just the amount of support that you guys have shown for the website, for my Pro Wrestling GA website. Like, that has been awesome. Just the traffic that has been coming from it within the first month of it being live and ready. Like, it's been absolutely insane. And I'm excited to see where it goes heading forward as AJ Styles comes out here. He is a former RCW Tag Team Champion, former RCW Carnage Champion, and he looks to get back in to that title picture, possibly grabbing any title that he can have his hands on. Yeah, the amount of support that you guys have shown the website, and not just by traffic, but just by absolutely legit everything, has been insane, you know. When creating a website, it takes a lot of time. It also takes, you know, money, obviously, with the web hosting and stuff like that, depending on how you go about making your website. If you use, like, Squarespace or Website Builder or something like that, it's definitely something that you have to invest your time in. Thank you, Scotty, for the follow. I appreciate it. Definitely something that you have to invest your time in. And my buddy Chaotic and I, like, he is another WWE streamer. You know, we've gone all in making that website for you guys. Originally, it was supposed to be me and my friend John Ortolanza, but he was doing other things, but he was helping me out. And we've gotten that website up and running for you guys. So it's been pretty awesome, and I'm excited to see where it takes off as Brian Outlaw starts off with a spear here against AJ Styles. And by the way, this is a no disqualification match as well. I forgot to mention that. Brian Outlaw and AJ Styles have had quite the matches here on RCW, as through 6 seasons. And honestly, another thing is, I can't thank you guys enough for the amount of support with the seasons of RCW, the amount of seasons, and, you know, I never would have thought that it would have gone this far in terms of 6 seasons. You know, it's not that I thought I was ever going to stop it. It's just I never imagined how popular it has become over time. So it's been pretty crazy. These two on the outside here. AJ Styles with a couple of punches to the midsection, 3 to be exact. Another punch there to Brian Outlaw. Oh, what's AJ Styles going for here? Dropping Brian Outlaw. And it appears that, I don't know how they got teleported back into the ring, but I wonder who's coming out here, and it appears to be Chris Danger attacking AJ Styles. This is no disqualification, so this is perfectly legal. 1, 2, and AJ Styles kicks out at 2, possibly trying to send a message to Brian Outlaw here in this match. I don't know why he didn't go after Brian Outlaw, but maybe he's just playing the mind games. I apologize if my controlling of Brian Outlaw is pretty bad here. I've been playing a lot of 2K20, so going back and forth between the two games, you know, sometimes it can get a little tough. Brian Outlaw with the reversal here, and you know, like I said, Chris Danger has been a thorn in Brian Outlaw's side and the entire Outlaw family side since turning on the Outlaws some time ago. After aligning himself with the Outlaws in RCW Season 3 in his debut. Now I am very surprised Brian has yet to use a chair in this match, as that is the Outlaw weapon of choice as he goes there for the steps, and now going towards AJ. And now hitting AJ with the steps. Gotta say, it's very unusual for Brian not to go for a chair, as he's going for the correction here on the outside to AJ Styles. And this is just an absolute mauling of AJ Styles right now. Credit Chris Danger with the assist. Brian Outlaw wedges that chair in between that turnbuckle. Now goes back to the outside, a little bit of mind games again with AJ Styles. A simple body slam there from Brian, excuse me. And now throwing AJ Styles head first into that chair. Like I said, this is completely legal here as Brian went for a submission, deciding to let go. Now, AJ Styles has to find a way back in this. He's got to find a way back in this, as he's in deep trouble right now. AJ's on the comeback here. And a Pele kick right to the face of Brian Outlaw. Maybe Brian Outlaw is taking his hand off the gas pedal here. Taking his foot off the gas pedal, excuse me, and a rope break. That shouldn't be there, as there are no disqualifications. But it was there nonetheless. It's AJ Styles looking for the phenomenal forearm, but Brian gets out of the way of the phenomenal forearm there. Lifts AJ up into another correction on AJ Styles. Now Brian's making his way up to the top rope, looking for that jailbreak DDT, that patented jailbreak DDT, as he likes to hit all the time in a jailbreak DDT there. Going right into the cover right afterwards. 1, 2, and AJ kicks out at 2, and Brian thought he had him, as you can tell by that frustration there. Again, Brian going up to the other corner this time. Calling for it again. Jailbreak DDT one more time. Into the cover again. 1, 2, and AJ again kicked out. AJ kicked out again. He kicked out of the jailbreak DDT again. That's something I don't normally see in Bryan's matches. But now AJ's firing back with a drop kick. Now the RCW World Champion finding himself in trouble again. A drop of the leg there. As AJ's going up top. What's AJ going for here? Wow, what a corkscrew. I think that was a corkscrew splash there. From AJ Styles into the cover. Almost has the win over the champion here in a count of 2. Now just a working hold trying to wear down Bryan. It's been amazing. This match here is... We thought this was all going to be all Bryan towards the beginning, but seems that AJ has come back with a little bit of fight left in him. Grabs the leg of Bryan here now into a single leg Boston Crab. Single leg Boston Crab here. Referee in perfect position, paying attention, seeing if Bryan wants to give up. But that is not a characteristic of the Outlaws as he fights out of that Boston Crab there. Oh my, the strength of Bryan Outlaw just throwing AJ across the ring there. Now Bryan is feeling it now. Kick to the midsection. Drop kick there. Another one. Sends him down with a neck breaker. But AJ gets right back up though, trying for a drop kick again. But AJ, Ushigoroshi there on it. Bryan Outlaw. And AJ going for the cover again. 1, 2. And Bryan kicked out at 2. And AJ is livid with the referee right now. As AJ looks for that Styles Clash, but Bryan reversed the Styles Clash. Bryan reversed the Styles Clash, tried to grab him for the guilty verdict, but no, a dragon screw leg whip from AJ. Made a little bit of a mistake trying to grab AJ for that guilty verdict, but AJ snuffed that one right out. Now kick to the midsection again. Now just a knee right to the midsection. 1, 2, and again. Bryan kicks out at 2. Checks that kick. Bryan turns right back around here. Looking for another correction. Here on AJ Styles and lands the correction on AJ. Remember, this is no disqualification rules. Anything can happen in this match as he throws AJ back first into that turnbuckle. But AJ with a reversal and the inverted DDT. Okay, that's a little weird. What the hell is going on with AJ? Having a seizure of some sort, apparently. I have no idea. That's weird. I've never seen that glitch before. But we're just going to run with it. Maybe AJ's doing a little dance. Who knows? Bryan's really selling that inverted DDT. And that's one thing in wrestling that is definitely missing, is selling of moves. The referee doesn't usually sell anything, so when you knock him over, he doesn't really sell anything as Bryan gets right back up finally. Getting back up here now. He's got to check on AJ after that little bit of a seizure he was having there. And now Bryan's going to go for the guilty verdict. Into the back and a guilty verdict on AJ Styles. Rope break shouldn't be there, but apparently it is anyway. Bryan throws AJ Styles to the outside. This is definitely Not good here for AJ Styles, as Bryan does a little bit of redecorating. It appears that he wants to finish AJ for good here. But AJ's not having it as AJ pushes him away. And a shot. And a guilty verdict again here on the outside, but he's got to get him to the inside of the ring here for any of this to count, and he does. No question this time. 1, 2, and AJ kicks out. But AJ with that uppercut. Maybe taking a little bit too much time to get AJ back into the ring, and back first goes Bryan Outlaw on the hardest part of the ring, the apron there. A chop right to the chest of AJ Styles. And these two are just beating the living hell out of each other right now. Now throwing AJ's back into that metal barricade. And any barricade is very unforgiving. But especially the metal ones. Looking for another correction here on the outside. And a correction again. I don't even know if this is about winning the match anymore. To me, it sure doesn't look like it, as Bryan could have ended this match a long time ago, but he's choosing not to. Just punishing AJ Styles. Running in and a clothesline to the outside. Now it appears Bryan's gonna do what he came to do, but oh, AJ! AJ preventing that from happening. And drops Bryan there. Throws Bryan back into the ring now. Now looking for something on the top rope. Corkscrew there. 1, 2, and Bryan again kicks out. These two are just pulling out all the stops here. Super kick! Right then and there. But again, Bryan's not done, as he's continuing to punish AJ, and this match can go as long as these two want. No disqualification, no countouts. But AJ's refusing to go down without a fight, trying to get that drop kick in there, but Bryan got out of the way. And now he's definitely looking to finish AJ here. As both men are on the table here, lifting AJ up. Oh my God, an F5 through the table! An F5 through the table, or a red wedding, depending on if you want to call it what Rosemary calls it or not, but an F5 through the table, and AJ kicked out. AJ kicked out of the F5. And now Bryan's looking to redecorate the other announce table here. Oh, but AJ's firing back. Ooh, Bryan fired back first. Ooh, spinning back fist. And these two are just absolutely killing each other. Drop toe hold here from AJ. Ooh, and a chop. And these quick strikes. Ooh, we're now throwing Bryan into the announce table here. Dropping him right on his head. And AJ's taunting the crowd a little bit. Uh-oh, now, what's AJ doing? What's AJ doing here face first? Goes Bryan off of the apron. Now again, lifting him up. Into that neck breaker there. AJ has him right where he wants him here. What's he doing here? Oh my! Springboard into the ring here. And now looking for the calf crusher. Looking for the calf crusher. Looking to get this win here over the RCW World Champion. AJ's got it locked in. Nowhere for Bryan to go. But he finds a way out. He finds a way out of it. Irish whip into the corner. Now a big clothesline in the corner. And these two, I don't even know what to think right now. These two are just going ham on each other right now. Like I said, I don't even think it's about getting the 1, 2, 3 anymore. These two have had a brutal past against each other here. Now it appears Bryan's just looking to finish this one. Looking to finish AJ once and for all here, lifting him up. F5 again. Through the other announce table. But AJ somehow still coherent enough. And a spear! Spear right away into a pin cover here. And he gets AJ Styles to go down. Finally. Getting AJ Styles down for the 3 count. But it took a hell of a lot more than I expected. AJ just didn't want to go down here. But we still have that attack from Chris Danger looking to send a message to Bryan Outlaw there, and I don't know if it worked. But we'll have to find out possibly in a later episode as we move on to our next matchup. And this is a tag team matchup here. We have Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish of the Undisputed Era, the RCW World Tag Team Champions, against Mustafa Ali and Ricochet. Now, Mustafa Ali and Ricochet, you know, they are quick on their feet, quick, very agile. So it should be no surprise that these two could possibly work well together. But then again, the Undisputed Era has had a really long history with each other, so really hard to figure out exactly who could come out the victor here as the Undisputed Era, the World Tag Team Champions here. And after defending their titles at RCW Destiny, they look to continue their reign. And how they became champions, they went through the entire tournament Because these titles were vacant and we had to crown new champions due to Rock and Hydro having a little bit of problem with their work visas over in Mexico, so they couldn't make their way over here. So unfortunately, they had to vacate the titles in response to that. And we had a tournament, and the Undisputed Era beat all the teams in said tournament to become the new RCW World Champions. But shortly after that, they had to defend their titles. It wasn't long. They couldn't celebrate too much because it wasn't long before they had to defend their titles. At RCW Destiny, in which they came out as the victor, as Mustafa Ali makes his way out here. But we're going to try and get this match to you as quick as possible, folks. As the one and only Ricochet, his partner here tonight, possibly one of my favorite wrestlers to watch, both on NXT and the main roster. Although I can't say that he's going to really have a chance against Brock Lesnar at Super Showdown, but I would like to see him get a little bit of offense at least and not be completely mauled by the Beast. But King Ricochet is here on RCW, and I'm pretty sure he's looking for a title opportunity, whatever title picture he finds himself in, he'll probably take it. By the way, for our main event tonight, we have Max Mercury, the returning Max Mercury, taking on the RCW Carnage champion in Randy Orton. As we saw last episode, Max Mercury made his long-awaited return, to attack Randy Orton. It's been a while since we've seen him. They have Kyle O'Reilly and Mustafa Ali start off this match. And now, I don't want to count out Mustafa Ali. No pun intended there. I don't want to count him out of this match, him and Ricochet, just yet. As, you know, we've seen some pretty awesome matches here in RCW, and with the exception of some upsets. And it's a huge super kick there from Mustafa Ali. Looking to drag Kyle O'Reilly to his corner here. And he does that as he tags in Ricochet, the one and only Ricochet, that is. Now, you know, even the most unlikely tag teams, you know, like Finn Balor and Aleister Black, Black Hole, which was one of the first tag teams we had here in RCW when the show started way back in August of last year. And they became tag team champion. You know, and that was just kind of a dream tag team scenario. You know, if Finn Balor, the Demon, and Aleister Black got together, like, that's sort of a dream scenario. But, you know, they were tag team champions for quite some time. There's Ricochet with the uppercut there, and they had quite the title reign. And then Aleister Black said, I'm done. I think we should focus on our singles careers and be done with it, as Ricochet tags in Mustafa Ali. Look at this double team super kick here. And now Kyle O'Reilly able to make the hot tag to Bobby Fish. And now it's Bobby Fish and Mustafa Ali here. Is a little bit of a leapfrog reversal there from Mustafa Ali. Bobby Fish pushing him away though and taking him down. But Mustafa Ali gets right back up and tried for that clothesline again. But nothing there. Mustafa Ali proving his worth here against the Undisputed Era. Ooh, and an elbow. And again, Mustafa gets right back up and right hand. And a drop kick there. Wow. Mustafa Ali pulling out all the stops here against the Undisputed Era. Now with the cover one. And just a kick out of one there. Irish whip into the corner. Oh, but a forearm right to the face. What a forearm. Bobby Fish, though, coming back here against Mustafa Ali and taking him down, and he finally sells something there. At least he's down for the time being. Bobby Fish doing a great job here, wearing down the quick and agile Mustafa Ali and taking him back into the ring with that neck breaker. Lifting him up again, but Mustafa Ali with a huge arm drag here. Now throwing him to the outside, that's very strange. Allows him to tag Ricochet though, which I don't know if I would have done that. I probably would have just taken him over to the corner and tagged him in, but you know, it is what it is, and double knees to the midsection here. The fire up that kick, what a kick. What a kick to the side of the head of Ricochet. Dragging him to the middle of the ring, very wise there, into a cover. One. Oh, not a 2 count. I thought it was going to be a 2 count. You heard the T sound. I thought it was going to be a 2 count, but nope, Ricochet kicked out just at 1. And it appears Bobby Fish is looking to finish Ricochet here very quickly. Looking to tie him up in the fish hook here. Getting him up in the fish hook, but Ricochet is able to get out of that very quickly. Not weakened. He hasn't weakened the legs enough. And another shot to the back there. Ricochet trying to make a tag to Mustafa Ali, but doesn't. Oh, checks that kick there with that elbow and a flatliner. Elevated flatliner there from Ricochet. 1, 2. Almost got Bobby Fish there, but just a 2 count. Kick right to the back, but Bobby Fish able to check that one. Has Ricochet in the corner here. Oh, but Ricochet says no. Ricochet says no. Turns it over into a single leg Boston Crab. I don't know if this is a rope break or not, but apparently it isn't. Trying to make the tag to Mustafa Ali, but again, Bobby Fish stopping that. Now looking to take Ricochet to his corner. Exactly what he does here. Tags in Kyle O'Reilly. Look at this double team work here. Irish whip. Oh, and look at that double kick there to the chest there of Ricochet. When that slap to the face, that disrespectful slap, and multiple slaps. And now look at those mounted punches into that armbar. And a rope break there. Allowing Ricochet to get right back up. Oh, but look at that thundering elbow. Almost got the hot tag to Mustafa Ali, but again, Kyle O'Reilly stopping that, making sure that that doesn't happen. And again, look at this double team here, making these quick tags to each other. Oh my. What a double team from the Undisputed Era, and just like that, they're back in the driver's seat. Oh, but Ricochet's fighting back with that elbow. Ricochet with the Northern Lights rolls through. Wow. What are we seeing here from the one and only? Oh, but Kyle O'Reilly pushes him off the top rope. As Ricochet looked for that 630 senton, and Kyle O'Reilly gets a right hand. But he did his job there, saving his tag team partner for the time being. Using the ropes for that slam there. And another kick right to the side of the face. And again, looking for a pin there, but Mustafa able to stop that right away. Referee was kind of out of position there. Bobby Fish looking to take care of Mustafa Ali here on the apron, and he does. So Ricochet has nobody to tag to now. And now Ricochet's in trouble here with a fish hook. Mustafa Ali can't do a damn thing about it as he's taking a breather here. Ricochet's got to find a way to fight out of this one. And he can't. He has to tap. And Mustafa Ali and Ricochet come up short here against the Undisputed Era, but I have to give them credit for stepping up here. Not many people want to step up to a decorated tag team like the Undisputed Era. But Mustafa Ali and Mustafa Ali and Ricochet, were brave enough, despite coming up short. And check out some of these replays here. As I don't know what would have happened there if Ricochet was actually able to hit that 630 senton, but Kyle O'Reilly, being the smart tag team partner he is, throwing Ricochet off the top rope, preventing him from hitting that 630. And the Undisputed Era are your winners here tonight as we move on to our next match. But who do you think on the roster is going to be able to dethrone the Undisputed Era of their titles? I don't know. It's going to be a tough one. As we have Luna Outlaw, the newly crowned RCW Women's Champion, beating Mercy Phantom at RCW Destiny, thus fulfilling her destiny, as she made a tweet out before that show began saying that it was her destiny to become RCW Women's Champion. Now, a little bit of history regarding that with the title, and that is simply that she kept falling short. She had 2 matches with Noelle Diamond, who was the RCW Women's Champion at that time, and she was going on one hell of a run. And she came up short both times. And in one of those times, she finally revealed her true identity by taking off her mask at RCW Turmoil, but still coming up short, but finally able to get that title back after winning a women's battle royal to earn her opportunity there. And Rosemary is looking to earn herself a title opportunity. Her very first women's title opportunity here in RCW, but you have the RCW Women's Champion Luna Outlaw here coming out. If you want to check out my other wrestling content, I also have a crap ton of wrestling content on my YouTube channel at Botch TV. It's the same as my Twitch, where you can see these streams archived. They are downloaded, they are edited, and then uploaded to YouTube shortly afterwards. Usually it takes me maybe about a day or so to get them edited, because they are long. They are like at least about an hour and 30 minutes, maybe 2 hours long, give or take. And a lot of times it's really difficult to edit all of that. I normally just edit out, like the first 5 to 10 minutes of it. And then, I do my color correction, do all these other types of edits, and then that's it here, as we have the Demon Assassin Rosemary making her way out here. yeah, so you can check out all my other wrestling content, including the My Career Universe modes of Luna and Brian Outlaw, where I take them through WWE and beyond. Luna starts off with what appeared to be a spear, but didn't look like one. Now taking down the demon assassin Rosemary. Now, Rosemary, if you remember, she was responsible for Brian Outlaw turning on his family. And, unfortunately, you know, that he was under a spell, as Rosemary likes to call it, or a potion, from the Shadow Realm where Rosemary resides. And, Jason Outlaw was able to win his brother's soul back after beating Chris Danger. So, that is where we are at now. But I doubt Luna has forgotten about that as she turns Rosemary around and turns her inside out with that lariat. Now, maybe her foot was under the rope there. At least her other foot was. It should have been a rope break there, but maybe not. Drop kick there. Rosemary finding herself in a world of hurt right now, and I think it's honestly just Luna being fueled by revenge here. Luna, trying to go for that middle rope spear, perhaps. But Rosemary able to duck out of the way of that one. Now Rosemary with the Irish whip into the ropes, leapfrog, drop down. Now Rosemary with a German suplex. Now Rosemary definitely is quite the powerhouse. She loves to use the red wedding as well as the upside down submission hold. You know, the red wedding hasn't been part of her repertoire in real life for quite some time now, but I don't even know what she calls her new finisher. She has a new finisher that she does. I don't even know what it's actually called. It's like some type of, like, almost like a tiger drop, basically, almost. I don't really know. It's actually a really cool finisher that I don't even think I've seen the variation before, ever. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. The crucifix into a cover here, one, and Rosemary kicks out at one. There, and this is going to be one hell of a fight between these two ladies, and a stomp to the arm of Rosemary here. We tried for a splash in the corner there, but Rosemary met nothing but turnbuckle. And Rosemary gets dropped again. One, and a kick out. As you can see, that shoulder came right up right away. And a standing moonsault there from Luna, the agile Luna Outlaw. And drops Rosemary right on her head with that pile driver. 1, 2, and Rosemary kicked out. Luna goes up top, calling Rosemary up to her feet. I don't know how good of a decision this is, but a Hurricane Rana into a pin combination. 1, and Rosemary kicked out. Not even a 2 count there. Ooh, just went live just. Oh, Bruno did. Cool. Oh, and a red wedding right to Luna Outlaw and a rope break. Rosemary not realizing where she was there. Not a very good idea. I'm just throwing Luna's head right into the mat. There's Rosemary now. Rosemary with the sling blade. Uh-oh. Removing that turnbuckle. Now looking to Throw Luna with an exploder suplex. One, two, and Luna kicked out at 2. Rosemary almost had her there. Possibly looking for the Red Wedding again. Lifted her up. Red Wedding one more time into a cover. 1, 2. And no, Luna kicked out of the Red Wedding again. Luna kicked out of the Red Wedding again. Many people have called her a little beast, and I think that's what I would have to agree. As Luna's the type of girl to not give up. She's very resilient. I think that's just because she's an outlaw. All the outlaws tend to be that way, in a backstabber into a cover. 1. No. Kick out. Again, a stomp to the arm. That has been quite the target there for Luna there. Oh, and a big slap to the face. Kicking combination, but a snapmare from Rosemary puts a stop to that, and a working hold here. And now the referee possibly trying to fix that turnbuckle that Rosemary messed up earlier. Lifting up Rosemary into a pile driver again. But a cover. But the referee taking a little bit of too much time. And just enough time for Rosemary to kick out of that pile driver. Just enough time. Well, trying for the dawning, but no, Rosemary got out of it. Oh, but Luna able to back up into a drop kick there. As Rosemary's crawling her way back to her feet. Possibly was trying to use the ropes, but didn't necessarily need it. Oh my! That almost looked like a guilty verdict there. Running from her brother Brian, I guess. She's trying for that dawning again. He hooks it, and she's got it. She's got the dawning on Rosemary. 1, 2. Oh, Rosemary kicked out. I thought that was going to be the end of it. It was so close, but Rosemary reverses that drop kick to the back. And now Rosemary, oh my God, what a clothesline. Luna again fighting back here in a big boot. And now Luna's trying to fight back, but Rosemary stopped it. Rosemary stopped it. And a spear. Again, Luna very agile enough to back up, enough to realize that Rosemary has that red wedding right in her back pocket that she can use at any time she decides. Anytime, any moment necessary. Picking up Rosemary again. And that pile driver. 1, 2. And Rosemary kicked out of the pile driver again. How many times can you be dropped on your head until the referee stops it? I mean, let's be real here. Oh, look at the tap out Rosemary with into the shadows. Look at the tap out Rosemary with into the shadows, but Rosemary gets out of that. Rosemary looks for red wedding, but no. Luna reversed it. Oh, what an uppercut from the spear. Clothesline. A lot of things are happening here. A lot of things are happening. As Rosemary puts her in the tree of woe, has Luna upside down. And those knee strikes in the corner there. As Luna is in deep trouble here. she can take a beating. That is for sure. Can you imagine if Rosemary battles back here? It'll be one hell of a story here. Is Rosemary with that elbow drop. I thought Luna may have been able to get out of the way into a cover. 1, 2. And Luna able to get that shoulder up at the last second there. Irish whip into the corner now. Oh, possibly looking for that upside down. The upside down. The upside down. From Rosemary, tapping into her fandom of Stranger Things. And for the Red Wedding again. But again, Luna found a way out of it. It seems that even though that Rosemary has been able to hit it a couple times, that she cannot connect with it for whatever reason in a headbutt. And again, just stomping away on Rosemary. I don't know how good of an idea that is. Stretching out the back of Rosemary here is... I don't know why Luna's taking so much valuable time, but... throws Rosemary out to the outside of the ring for a little bit. Looking to redecorate both tables here. Oh, Rosemary with a kick to the midsection, but that's it. Another kick to the midsection. Now Luna throws her back in. Luna throws her back in, but Rosemary catches her with a German suplex. No! Luna reversed it. Luna got out of it, but is unable to follow it up with anything for the time being. But Luna able to get the blackout series of strikes. But that can't be enough, can it? Possibly not, and Luna realizes that. She takes Rosemary out to the outside. I wonder what Luna has in mind here, but it can't be good as she throws her back into the ring. Very questionable there. I don't know. Maybe she made a mistake there. Maybe that's not what she intended. Count of 2 here. And now, Luna propping up Rosemary on the announce table. Kick to the midsection. A power bomb through the announce table. And resets that count very quickly. She could easily just finish this one up right here, but choosing not to. She goes over to the announce table again. Another kick to the midsection as she looks to set up for another powerbomb through this announce table. Count of 6 here. Throws Rosemary back into the ring. Count of 7. 1, 2, and 3. And Luna gets the win here. Laughing in Rosemary's face. A little bit of revenge. Considering what she did to her brother, Brian, a little time ago here in the past. You know what they say about karma and payback. It appears that Rosemary felt all of that. But who is this? This is Ariel. Ariel ambushing Luna Outlaw here. We've talked about her for quite a bit. Talked about her signing with RCW, but now she is here now. She is here ambushing the champion and a super kick right to the face. She might be looking for code blue here. Code blue for the champion. Oh my. Ariel making her appearance against the RCW Women's Champion here, sending a message by delivering a code blue knee strike. And now it is Chris Danger versus Kevin Owens. Now Kevin Owens and Brian Outlaw have quite the friendship. As they made an agreement that at some point that Kevin Owens and Brian Outlaw would face each other for the title. And that is the agreement that Kevin and Brian made. When Kevin decided to return to RCW action. And it seems that Brian's one to hold his side of the bargain. We'll have to wait and see what happens here. But for now, he is facing the internet darling. He has wrestled everywhere, Chris Danger. And it appears that Chris Danger has to have in the back of his mind that Brian could easily get some retribution for the attack that happened at the beginning of the show tonight. We'll just have to find out if that's the case. Because Brian doesn't take things lying down. He likes to play mind games with you, and that's exactly what he's going to do. Probably here tonight, but we have a match. Here it is Kevin Owens and Chris Danger. Now, as I mentioned, Brian and Kevin have made a pact. I will join RCW. I will come back. I will return to RCW, but only if you give me a shot at you for a title. And I'm surprised that Kevin Owens put a title stipulation on it, because honestly, I'd rather see Kevin and Brian face off anyway, with or without a title attached to it. But I guess having a title attached to it makes the match at least, I don't know, more appealing? I don't know. Ooh, and a headbutt there from Chris. Kevin Owens and Chris Danger starting off here. Doing a monkey flip there. From Chris Danger. Lifting up Kevin Owens, but oh, Kevin Owens with a sweep of the feet of Chris Danger. And if you can find a way to slow down the offense of Chris Danger, then you can find many ways to beat him. That's definitely one of them, is finding a way to slow him down, to keep him grounded. If I were Kevin Owens here, I'd go after the legs of Chris Danger. The early count there, just not even a count of one yet. But Chris Danger with a kick to the back of the leg. Oh, a stunner! Stunner pulling a page out of Kevin Owens' playbook here. Doing a right hand. Oh, but checks that kick. Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens just runs over Chris Danger. Wow. I don't think I've seen Chris Danger get run over like that before. A body slam there from Chris. Chris tries to turn this one around. Irish rip to the apron. A little bit of a punch and a DDT right on the apron. Hardest part of the ring there. And Kevin Owens is hurting right now. Oh, but Kevin Owens throws Chris Danger into the apron as part of payback there. Didn't seem to hurt him that much if he's able to do that. Head first into the steps. Kevin Owens is having his way here with Chris Danger now. After Chris Danger came out with some early offense. Ooh, and a shot right to the face. Chris Danger gets back in the ring. Both men back in the ring now. Oh, a super kick. German. One. Wow. Right as Kevin Owens came back into the ring, he met a big boot right to the face into a German suplex and now chest stomps. Another super kick right to Kevin Owens and a cover. 1, 2, and Kevin Owens with a kick out of 2. Chris Danger now tuning up the band. Looking for a little bit of sweet chin music. Referee taking a little bit of time. 1, 2, and Kevin Owens again kicks out. He's kicked Kevin Owens' head off many, many times in a springboard moonsault here into a cover. 1, 2, and Kevin Owens refusing to stay down. Kevin Owens again with that shoulder tackle. Fighting back here. Into the corner, Chris goes. Turns him around. Would we be staring at a cannonball? Uh-oh. Now Chris is in a little bit of trouble here. Pop-up powerbomb to Chris Danger. 1, 2, and Chris kicked out. Chris kicked out of the pop-up powerbomb. Chris is still alive, and now Chris getting back to his feet. Chris getting back to his feet, and now a clothesline, another clothesline. Drop kick. And Chris Danger is feeling it. Super kick again. Has him right in the middle of the ring now. Looking for sweet chin music again. Tuning up that band. Sweet chin music. 1, 2, and Kevin Owens again kicked out of the sweet chin music. Kevin Owens refusing to go down. Fight, Owens, fight, and we're definitely seeing that here from Kevin Owens tonight. Stunner again. Chris Danger's probably wondering what the hell he has to do to get KO to stay down for the 1, 2, 3, but it's definitely going to take a lot more than 2 Sweet Chin Musics for that to happen. Into a cover here. 1, 2, and Kevin Owens almost had Chris Danger there. Ooh, just forcing the boot down onto the midsection. Possibly trying to injure the ribs of Chris Danger. Again, Brian Outlaw and Kevin are friends, so maybe this onslaught of offense could be so that Chris Danger isn't 100% if he happens to face Brian for the world title. And a jawbreaker there, and that may have busted Kevin Owens wide open, and I think it did. The springboard moonsault there. Kevin Owens lifting him up now. But Kevin Owens with that shoulder tackle. And working on the leg of Chris Danger. That's exactly what he needs to do. Prevent those super kicks. Including that Sweet Chin Music that we've already seen him connect with twice. And again, stomping at that arm. Handhandle. Drops him right on the knee. Like I said, Chris Danger is in a world of hurt right now, and possibly Kevin Owens is just looking to injure Chris Danger in some way, shape, or form so that he is not 100% if he happens to face Brian for the title. 1, 2, and a kick out. Kevin Owens thought he had Chris there. He thought he had Chris. Possibly looking for the pop-up powerbomb again. Throws him into the ropes. Pop-up! No! No pop-up powerbomb! As Chris got out of it real quick. Chris got out of it. Now looking for a taste of danger. Into a cover. 1, 2, and Kevin Owens kicked out. Kevin Owens kicked out of the taste of danger. I thought that was over. Springboard moonsault barely connected with that one. Little too close for comfort there. Now lifting him up now. Coming at him with a Philly special. The Philly special knee strike there on Kevin Owens. Well, as he begins to stir, but prevents that from happening. Oh, what's Chris doing here? Wasting valuable time. But oh, look at these strikes. Let's see. What is Chris going for here? Taking a little bit of time to realize what he might be going for. He couldn't connect with us. Couldn't get him down with the Sweet Chin Music, but he's probably gonna get him down here with the taste of danger. 1, 2, 3, and Chris beats Kevin Owens. But wow, what a match. What a match, as Kevin Owens definitely put up a fight as much as he could. But that wasn't enough to take down the man in Chris Danger. He is the Danger for a reason. And he is victorious here tonight. But Brian Outlaw coming out for some retribution here against Chris Danger in a clothesline from behind. Well, tried for a big boot, but that didn't happen there. Drop kick. Looking for the correction here on Chris Danger. A little bit of retribution and gets the correction. Now going up top now. up top now for the jailbreak DDT, but he missed. He missed. He missed it. But he drops Chris. Oh my god. He missed the jailbreak DDT, but that's okay. Message sent. Or message returned, I guess I could say. Message returned or invalid, whatever you want to refer it to. As we have our main event here tonight, capping off what a pretty awesome show, if I do say so myself. As we have Max Mercury making his return here to RCW action against the RCW Carnage champion in Randy Orton. Now, I have to say that was pretty ballsy of Max Mercury to come out against the RCW Carnage champion. That was definitely ballsy. But, in my honest opinion, what a way to return and make your statement against one of the top champions here. And he did exactly that by attacking Randy Orton, basically saying, I want your title, I'm back, and now I want it. But just saying that doesn't guarantee you a title opportunity. So Randy Orton basically saying, if you want it, then come get it, and challenge me for a match here tonight, and that's exactly what happened. Exactly what we're getting as he looks at that RCW Carnage title. Now, who knows if he will be holding that after RCW Rebirth, as all titles must be defended at every RCW pay-per-view. And we have 2 pay-per-views a season, 20 episodes a season. This is episode 12. If you missed any of the episodes, all the way from season 1 to season 6 right here, you can catch them on my YouTube channel. They are archived. They're also on my website at ProWrestlingGA.com. You can use the command WEB, W-E-B, to gain access to that. And where you can access all of my wrestling content, including the Angle podcast with my co-host Chaotic and Young Sin. In which we talk about wrestling. We pretty much talk about anything wrestling related. It's a really fun podcast. We've been having a lot of fun with that. We do it every other Sunday. Unless, you know, our schedules don't meet up or whatever. But we try to do it every other Sunday. The reason why we do that is so that we can plan out topics. So that we have some time to plan out topics and figure out what we are going to do for the next podcast. So far, we have sort of an idea of what we want to do for the next podcast, such as, you know, just WWE video games and what the wrestling gaming industry needs now, considering that there really is no wrestling games besides this one and Chikara, you know. But Chikara is still a game that's very, like, unheard of, and But that is kind of what we'll possibly be talking about for the next podcast. Float over DDT here from Max. And we hope to see you guys there and join in on the conversation. I love the conversations that Chaotic and Young Sin and our guests have on the podcast. The latest episode we did was with Deftest Violator, another WWE or wrestling streamer. We talked about his universe modes, how he does his universe modes. We also talked about storylines, what makes them good, what makes them bad. Talked about how we create storylines, you know, especially me and Deftest with our universe modes. And he has actually 3 universe modes, which is pretty insane. And we just talked about the work that goes into making these universe modes, like RCW and his NWO blue, red, and black brand universe modes. You know, these take a lot of work to put together in terms of storylines and stuff. Like, people think it's just making matches, which game-wise, it really is just making matches and then playing them out. But he does it with the AI. Some people do it in many different ways. But, as Max tries to hit Mad Max there, but definitely check out that episode here as Randy Orton looking for the DDT here on Max. That's vintage Randy Orton. As Max finds himself in a world of hurt right now. 1, 2, and Max kicked out at 2. Max ain't gonna go down that easy. As Randy Orton's looking to take Max to that place with a RKO. 1, 2, and Max kicked out of the RKO. Randy Orton decided to go for it a little early, and Max kicked out of it. Max is one tough cookie, that's for sure. Being tough enough to wrestle with a jacket on. A drop kick there to Randy Orton, and now Randy Orton has to roll out to the outside, take a little bit of a breather. This is something that Randy Orton hasn't seen before. We tried for a clothesline in the corner, but Max dropping Randy Orton. Gonna set him up here, running with a Mad Max. Mad Max. 1, 2, and just a 2 count there as Randy Orton kicks out. Definitely has to wear down Randy a little bit more. Randy tries to fire himself back up to get back in this match. Ooh, tried for a clothesline, but Randy said no, or Max said no, excuse me. Then with those kicks. Wearing down Randy Orton. Taking all of the energy out of him. And this is exactly what needs to happen here. You need to wear down Randy Orton here to even have any chance at beating him. Now, this is not for the title. But if Max were to come out with a victory here, there could be a chance he could find himself in a title spot and a double stomp. Double stomp there. Double foot stomp. Crawling right into the pin and 1. The count of 1 there. Knee right to the back. Trying for another knee, but no. Randy Orton got himself out of that. Oh, jawbreaker there. Mad Max again. Mad Max again. 1, 2, and Randy Orton again kicked out. Randy Orton again with the kick out. Well, tried to finish him off, but no. Oh! Randy caught the foot. But then Max said, I'm 1 step ahead of you, buddy. 1 step ahead of you. Drop kick. And caught Randy Orton with a kick to the face. Into the midsection, possibly looking for that Max driver, that package pile driver. And he connected 1, 2, and Randy Orton with the kick out. And Max can't believe he did not take down the RCW Carnage champion there. Dragging him right to the middle of the ring. Very wise there. This drop. Oh, but that busted him wide open. That busted Randy wide open. Now trying for the elbows. But Randy with the quick reversal there. Now where is he sending Max? As Max right up against the ropes here. A stomp. Uh-oh. He is looking to end Max here. Looking to end Max. RKO again. And that busted Max wide open. 1, 2, 3, and Randy gets the win. Randy was able to get the win over Max. I thought Max had him there. But Randy, I mean, you know, all it takes is just one RKO. It took 2 for Randy, but it took 2 to take down Max, and my God, there is a reason why he is RCW Carnage champion in Randy Orton here, and who is going to be able to dethrone him? It seems like nobody at this point. But that is our show, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me for another episode of the RCW Universe Mode Ravage Championship Wrestling. What did you think of the show here tonight? Let me know. As your suggestions are taken very seriously. You know, this show is, even though that I make the matches, I always like to get some feedback from the viewers, and I always like to get your guys' feedback on the seasons. What I do here is when we reach the halfway point, which we're already past that point, which is 10 episodes. That's 10 episodes. So when we reach the halfway point, which we already have, but I'm just going to say this anyway for those of you that are new. When that happens, we take a little bit of a break, maybe a couple weeks' time. Reasoning is because I'd like to plan out storylines. You know, these storylines that go into, you know, making the show what it is. I like to make sure that, you know, they're well thought out. A lot of times, a lot of these storylines are very long-term, meaning that they're storylines that evolve over time, you know, which is why they're good. I believe that in wrestling, you know, you have to have storylines planned out. You have to have, for a good story to unfold, you have to have multiple different scenarios, or multiple ways that it can go, and then maybe like 2 or 3, I would say, and then choose between those 2 or 3. So let's say if I already have something in mind, like since I control the matches, and, you know, I lose by accident, or if I have something happen, you know, I try and figure out of a way to make that storyline still good. Like, you know, some of the storylines that I've had that have resulted in really good stories are storylines where something has happened in the middle of it, or maybe at the beginning of it, usually in the middle of it, where something didn't go as planned. I lost on accident, or whatever, but oftentimes, stuff that I'm not prepared for always end up being the most badass ones, because I'm like, wow, that turned out great by the end of it. You know, so there have been times where I've restarted matches because of controversy. You know, maybe a rope break that should have happened that didn't, or whatever. You know, something that would actually happen IRL. You know, that would constitute for a rematch or whatever. And so you know, it's always, in my opinion, it's fun. You know, I've had a lot of people ask me, like, how do you keep this fun for you? Like, how do you keep it so that it doesn't get boring, or, you know, that you keep viewers coming back, or whatever? And my simple answer is this: like, have storylines played out long term. Know what you are going to do long term. Write it down, whatever you have to do, because you keep people invested. And that's the thing that I feel like WWE is missing, is Vince plans out storylines, but he plans them out for the short term. He doesn't think long term how it's going to affect a wrestler's character, how it's going to affect the story as a whole, and that's the issue. And that's why, like, a lot of people don't like the storylines that are happening on the main roster for that exact reason. You know, people lose interest in storylines, or people aren't as invested. And, you know, and that's the issue with story. When you create a story like The Walking Dead or something like that, where it's either based on a comic, or it's either like, or something happens where, you know, it doesn't make sense, or what have you, or just something happens to where you lose interest and you have no way of keeping your audience interested in that story. It's honestly the fault of the creator. You know, and I don't want to put myself at fault for creating shitty storylines and not having them play out nicely. Which is why I have 3 different scenarios that I like to do for each storyline that I do. And usually one scenario is not better than the other. They're usually all good scenarios. All 3 of them are good scenarios. There's usually one that I would like to happen more than the other. But at the end of the day, whether I choose 1, 2, or 3, I feel like those storylines are good anyway. And that's really how I make this show for you guys, and I'm really grateful for just the amount of opportunities that I've gotten because of RCW. And that includes, like, real life opportunities. You know, I'm possibly going to start training at a wrestling school soon, become a manager, and, you know, to be the actual Brian Outlaw that you guys see here in this series and the My Career Universe Mode series and all that. I want to do that. Because, well, you know, I feel like it's just something that needs to happen. And, you know, it's because of you guys that I'm actually doing something about it. Because, you know, you can constantly talk about doing something, whether it's changing the world or whatever it is. You can constantly talk about changing the world, doing this, doing that, doing this, doing that. But at some point, you gotta ask yourself that the talking needs to stop, and you need to start doing it. Because people can talk about doing this or doing that, and they don't do anything. They literally don't do anything. And that's the problem. It's like, you know, people have become complacent. People have become, you know, they always talk about that they're going to do this or do that. And then they get mad because they don't. Like, Chris Van Vliet, he's one of my favorite wrestling interviewers, and he always says vague goals get vague results. Meaning that if you want to strive for something, be specific in what you want to strive for. Because if you're not, then chances are you're not going to get what you want out of it. And that's a problem. You know, you're not going to get what you want out of something if you don't figure out what it is specifically that you want to get out of. And it's okay not to know. But at some point you have to keep breaking down those barriers and get more specific and be like, okay, I achieved this goal, or okay, I achieved this goal, what's my next one? You know, and that's how I live life. Because if you don't live life, if you become complacent and you don't live life how you want to live it, and just be okay with, and some people are okay with how they are, and that's okay. But I'm talking about those people that don't want to strive for anything. That, you know, that don't want to push themselves. And I feel like if you don't push yourself at some point, you're not going to live the life that you it's sort of a mentality where if you push yourself to do something because you want to do it, or if you push yourself to a point where, like, I want to do this, here's how I'm going to do it, I'm going to do this, nothing's going to stop me from doing it. Once you've reached that mindset and you've set out, like, you've taken step towards that, don't stop because it gets don't stop because it's not as easy as you thought it would be. A lot of people I know have stopped doing their dreams or have stopped going for things because they're like, oh, it's too hard. Well, life is hard and life ain't fair. You know, we all have those ups and downs and everything of our lives, but, you know, we should never let it stop us doing what we do. You know, so with that in mind, you know, you guys have given me the opportunity to do what I want to do, and that is to make wrestling content, live my dream as a pro wrestler, and eventually turn it into reality as not necessarily as a pro wrestler, because obviously I'm not medically inclined. I won't medically be cleared to compete ever in the ring, but to be able to carry out that outlaw character in some way, shape, or form, whether it's being a manager, being a commentator, whatever, you know, that's all because of you guys. You know, I will keep you guys updated with things that are going on IRL wrestling-wise, and I want to thank you guys for being there for me, and just being real awesome people, so thank you very much. And with that, I will catch you guys next time on RCW, next stream will possibly be tomorrow. I usually don't stream today, but I had a day off due to President's Day. Next stream will possibly be tomorrow. I'll let you know if anything changes, or if I'm not streaming or if I am. So I'll let you guys know that, and I will catch you guys next time. Thank you guys so much for everything you do. Later.